Thanks for watching. I'm Father Roderick, and I am streaming from the Dutch countryside. And it is a beautiful day today. It's actually quite warm and sunny. That's why I'm wearing a hat to protect myself. There are people biking here. That's of course huge in the Netherlands. And I am on a very, very long walk. Normally when I stream, I always use Facebook. But of course I also have a lot of followers on YouTube. So this is an experiment to see if my YouTube audience is still there when I stream live. And of course, once I post it on YouTube, I can also repost it on Facebook. It's a Saturday. I have the morning off, and I have some exciting news to share. At least exciting news for me. But before I do that, I just want to show you a little bit of my environment here. While my telephone goes on low power mode. That's kind of the downside of streaming. Oh, it gets very choppy. Is this still working? Can you still hear me all right? I got a bad feeling about this. Okay, how's the image? Because all of a sudden my phone starts to kind of break down and become all choppy. This is my view. This is where I come from, over there in the distance. Over there is where I live, very far in the distance. And I've been walking for 2.5 hours now. And lots of people are enjoying the countryside. It is choppy indeed. How is the audio? Is the audio less choppy? I'm here near Nijkerk on the countryside. You know what? I wonder if the choppiness doesn't, if I am so sorry about that. For some reason my phone crashed, or at least the YouTube app crashed. But once I launched YouTube again, it told me, well, you were streaming. Do you want to resume your stream? So that's what I'm doing instead of starting a new one. So as I was explaining, I'm here on the countryside. I've been walking for a couple of hours. I will continue to walk. It's a gorgeous day. People are either walking here or taking their bikes, which of course is huge in the Netherlands. And I'm going to switch the camera around. There you go, that's what I'm looking at. So just look at how beautiful everything is here. So peaceful, so calm. I think one of the reasons that it crashed was that I put it in low power mode. And then it's probably just, this is an old iPhone, so it wasn't strong enough. And the other reason may be that just, I don't know, YouTube is crashy. It's still a little bit unstable as far as I can tell. Look at this. This is where people live here in my country. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, this could be the Shire. Oh, fantastic. And wait, there is more over. You see that hill in the distance? I'm going to climb that and you'll see the water. Look at what farmers are doing here for the environment. They covered the entire roof of the stable or shed with solar powers. Am I walking on wooden shoes? No, I'm not actually. These are my shoes here. These are the shoes that brought me all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And the reason that I'm walking is that I got the news late last night that I've been selected for the admission to the biggest walking event of in the world, I think. It's 4 days long distance walking. Look at those cows there. Isn't that cute? They're just enjoying the shadow. These are green cows. So this is all environmental friendly farming that happens here. So these cows are, well, they're making the milk that we drink here. So there are about 50,000 participants, or no, a little under 50,000 participants. And every year there are 40,000 people that have walked it before, so they get admitted automatically. And then the remainder, you have to enter a lottery. And that's what I did, not really counting on getting admitted. And so yesterday evening, I got admitted. However, that is 4 days of 40 kilometers per day of walking. I've never walked 40 kilometers per day. So I need to start training. So this is a dike, one of those famous dikes in the Netherlands. This is a small one, but it prevents the countryside over there on the right to be submerged, because of course it's well, I'm not sure if we're below sea level. Hey Milo, hi back to Washington. So I think this is actually a somewhat higher part of the Netherlands, but still we have dikes for, you know, high water and stuff. Hey Jason, welcome. And here you see the water. Isn't that amazing? So I'm now standing on the dike. I'm going to walk in the direction where these bikers are going. I still have to walk for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours before I'm back home, if I follow this itinerary. But it's a gorgeous day, as you can tell. And I'm gonna grab myself some lunch. There is I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but there is a building further down the road. Hey Carlos, you're watching in Mexico? Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Well, it's morning here, it's early morning in Mexico. So I hope you have a wonderful day. This is fun. I get a very different audience than on Facebook. I was explaining earlier on, I sometimes use Facebook to stream, or most of the time. But of course, YouTube also has streaming capabilities. I'm doing this with my phone, and it's an old phone, so it's kind of choppy and not perfect, audio-wise also. More Dutch bikers. Goedemorgen. And Jason wants to know if I've heard of Malta. Yes, of course. That is a beautiful visit. You see that building in the distance over there on the horizon with the chimney? That is actually, oh, I don't know the word in English. It's basically a regulation system for to prevent the water from overflowing. So it's regulating the amount of water that they let into the canals. And you can visit that, and I think they have also a place where I can grab lunch and a cup of coffee. That would be nice, because I've been walking here for a while. I have a hat against the sun, because it's still springtime. It's not that warm, but if you walk around for a couple hours, you need to shield yourself from the sun. So I'm starting my training. I'm excited, and just this morning I realized how much I missed walking. Oops, little spider here. You go weave your web somewhere else, little spider man. There is something about walking. I'm a runner. I normally run marathons. But there's something about walking that literally slows you down, makes you much more aware of the environment. So I stopped and smelled the roses. There are no roses here, but I saw the ducks taking care of their little ducks, their ducklings this morning. You see the flowers. There are already tons of flowers here. And let's see, what sounds like a swear word? I don't know. I'm talking about ducks. And dikes. Oh well. Anyway, that's the Netherlands for you. But I really enjoy walking, and I really long to go back to Santiago as well. Perhaps this year. Perhaps I can carve out some time to go walk at least part of the Camino, because it was such a wonderful experience 2 years ago. I hope the image is stable now. It looks a little bit less choppy than it did at the start of this video. And let me know if you want me to do this more often. What do you prefer? Me streaming on YouTube, like here, or on Facebook, that I'm normally doing? Or is it kind of the same for you? I'd love to hear your feedback. I need to kind of take better care of my YouTube audience. That is definitely something that I've realized the past few weeks. I was like, gosh, it's a pretty big audience. I always had fun creating these vlogs, and I just at one point got too busy and kind of forgot about YouTube, which is kind of stupid. So Jason says definitely stream on YouTube. What are the advantages of streaming on YouTube versus Facebook. I notice on Facebook I get a lot of kind of immediate people that it shows up in their feed. I don't know how that works with YouTube. It also really depends on the time of year I have, or the time of day. I have more. Hey, Christian is from Chile. Hi back, saludos. I think I have more followers in Europe on Facebook compared to YouTube, where it's more international. Perhaps also more people from literally all over the world. So yeah, but I have to make some choices. I can't do both all the time, because then, you know, it gets really. I'm like butter over too many sandwiches, or how does there too many pieces of toast, or whatever Bilbo says. Koleko says, I keep hearing from my younger coworkers who uses Facebook anymore. They're all into YouTube or Instagram. That is a very good point. Facebook apparently is for older people. Now, of course, I'm ancient. I'm a dinosaur, so no wonder I'm on Facebook. But that is a good point. I think the audience may be demographically more interesting on YouTube. Hey, Tanya. And I have to say, the app for live streaming is pretty cool. I can see, whoops, it is a bit choppy, but that's my phone. Which reminds me, I'm kind of in the process of deciding on what to buy as a new phone. And because this is an iPhone 6, and it is really, it's no longer performing very well. Battery is empty all the time. I may have to pick a phone that has a large battery, because when you're streaming it just takes away so much energy. I'm also looking for a camera with, oops, flies, with good sound. Dreamy says, maybe you should mention on Facebook that you're on YouTube. Yeah, thank you. Camille says, I'm not using Facebook, so recommend any other platform that's more respectful about my privacy. Rodrigo is from Brazil. How do you say that? Bom dia. So, yeah, you all make good points. So if you have any recommendations for a phone, I was currently looking into a Xiaomi phone, like the Mi 9, which has 3 cameras. It's got a wide-angle camera, which is pretty amazing, especially if you're like me and often in Rome and cities like that. You want to have that wide angle. I'm not sure about the quality of the selfie camera, and I'm not so sure about a battery either. I need to have something that's kind of low budget, because I don't have a big budget for phones, and I kind of always think it's a waste to spend it on a phone. You know, like the newer iPhones, they're like $1,000. I don't want to spend that on a phone, honestly. So the Xiaomi phones are a lot cheaper. I was looking into the Mi Mix 3, which is also pretty cool. It's got this sliding mechanism, so there's no notch. Although the Mi 9 has a very small notch. The problem that I have with these Chinese phones is that there is no headphone jack, so I can't use an external microphone. And of course, built-in microphones are pretty bad. Hey, Cliff, good to see you. Good morning. Someone was asking me, do you know Pokemon? Yes, I've been playing Pokemon Go for a while, so I'm a bit familiar with it. I saw the trailer for the Pokemon detective movie, which looks like a lot of fun. So, but I'm not a heavy-duty Pokemon fan. I apologize, but perhaps in the future. So anyway, for those of you that have joined me a little bit later, I'm on a training walk on the Dutch countryside, and I just want to show you how much you have to visit this country. If only for all these people on bikes. They're really amazing. All right. There they go. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Netherlands. So as you can tell, it is really flat. The brochures are right. And the Netherlands consists of water, you see here on the right side, and land. And the land in the distance is new land. We created that land. This used to be a sea, actually, but we put sand, lots and lots of sand, and we heightened the land there so that we could cultivate it. Camille says, I came here because I remember great vlogs from the World Youth Day in Krakow. That was fun. Flavoland, says Dreamy. Yes, it is. So for a lot of people from that are not from the Netherlands, this is kind of so weird that we are living under the sea, because the land that you see here on the other side of the dike, well, if we wouldn't build dikes, that would be underwater. Just look at the beautiful Dutch skies. It's a gorgeous day. We got some more bikers here passing by. Zoof, zoof. And of course, we've got farms. Nice countryside farms. Oh, the video is getting choppy again, so I think my battery is running low. And then over there in the distance, oops, right there is a bridge that crosses this what now is more like a canal, and you can just enter the countryside over there, and I can go for very, very long walks. But right now, today, I'm only doing 20 kilometers. I got to do way more in the near future. Do you like classic cars? I have an old car. It's 13 years old, and I don't like it that much. But no, classic cars. I'm not very much a car person. Yeah, Dreamy lives in Deventer, which is also a gorgeous city. And that's a little bit, you don't need dikes there because it's the kind of the higher part of the Netherlands. So I'm heading for the building over there in the distance. I'm repeating myself for the newer viewers. That's where I'm going to get lunch. There's an old building there, and I think they have a tourist shop. What's the time here? I'm going to look at my watch. Let me turn the camera around again. What's the time? It's 1:15. So it is, it's lunchtime actually. Oh, you have dikes, Dreamy. That's true. You have dikes around the IJssel, the river, the IJssel. I want to do this more often. I want to do more vlogs. I want to kind of go back to the stuff that I did in the past. Oops, more bikes. I gotta stop here. I'm getting run over by bikes. And I want to focus more on creating YouTube content and making it slightly more, I don't know, better content than just streaming from my studio, because that's what I do for the podcasts. I recently took the decision to change the way in which I do my shows. So normally I had these shows where I would just talk about everything, like everything at once. Very hard to categorize, difficult to find, impossible to find a new audience for that. I switched that, and now I want to create these shorter videos. Pete says, yes, more YouTube. I don't use Facebook. Good point. So I now do shorter videos about specific topics. So yesterday or day before yesterday, I recorded my review of the movie Dumbo, so movie reviews. But I want to do even more quality vlogging, like what Casey Neistat is doing and other vloggers. They put more time in it, but it pays off, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm a TV maker, so normally, Rodrigo likes the new shows. That's good to hear, because it was scary. I've been doing these general shows for more than 10 years, so kind of changing the approach is always a risk. I don't want to alienate my listeners, but I've only had positive reactions so far. So I'm putting the audio in the RSS feed, and I'm putting the videos up on YouTube and on Facebook, and that seems to work. And I hope that over time, if my videos are interesting enough and are useful to the people that watch them, that, you know, I may be able to grow those audiences a little bit better if I just stick with my old routine. Cliff says, I will miss the old format, but I'm a fan no matter what. I gotta try to keep the same tone of voice for the shorter videos. Rodrigo wants to know, how can we see the TV shows with subtitles? Well, unfortunately, the TV shows are always online. I can post a link in the comments, and I think that there's no region lock, but subtitles are not available. That would be way too expensive to translate that in English. However, I hope to be able to... will the walk continue, asks Cliff. Yes, absolutely. The walk is one of those long-form audio shows that, you know, video has no added value, and there is a special chemistry in that, or chemistry, there's a certain pace in that show that I don't think you can reproduce in other types of media. So yes, the walk will absolutely continue. I kind of miss my Zoom H2. That's why I haven't been recording much, because I gave it to someone temporarily. I need to get it back, and I'm walking around with this huge H4, which is really clumsy, and I don't like the H4. So I need to get my trusty old H2 back, and then the walk will be back as well. So, but I want to start experimenting with, you know, quality vlogs, something that is much more kind of storytelling, taking people to places, because that's what I do best. And then of course live. I like live On Facebook, it's sometimes a bit disappointing. You only get like 10. Oh, sorry for the wind, by the way. I have no external microphone, but more and more bikers they were warning me. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? This conversation goes in all directions. No, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I actually got rid of all my game consoles because I'm a PC gamer, and that's the most affordable form for me. I don't play that many games. I don't have much time to play games, so I don't have a Nintendo anymore. So yeah, I like live. Cliff says I need to get you on the Cliff Ravenscraft show again. Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, that's kind of the lesson that I learned, is you got to keep evolving and always ask yourself, I've been doing this for 10 years, but is it still what I should do? Or should I kind of mix things up, try some other stuff so that I evolve, so that you keep improving? And I think that's kind of the next step, is going to be to improve the stuff that I do on YouTube and see if I can build a larger audience on YouTube. All right, I need to stop because there's only 5% energy left. Camille says in Poland there's great content done by Father Struszak. His channel, blah, 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 and it's amazing. Well, that's good. It's good to hear that there are actually Polish priests that do content and YouTube. That's awesome, because my Polish is not very good. I can say dzień dobry, and that's it. So I want to keep like a few percent of a little bit of power for my way to find my way back home, because it's somewhere there, somewhere, but I really don't know how to get there. So but thank you so much for joining me, and let's do this again. I hope you enjoyed this. All right, thanks for watching, and take care now. Oh, by the way, final request, give me some tips on what phone should I buy for this kind of stuff. What would you recommend? Because I'm kind of lost and I don't want to spend $1,000 on an iPhone, but I do want to have good cameras, I do want to have good battery life, etc. So if you have any tips or experience, let me know. Take care. Ciao.